Hi guys! So today we're going to be creating a cactus ornament, which actually is going to come from the base of a snowman. So we're going to go ahead and get started. The supplies that you'll need for this are going to be a paintbrush, nothing too big, just a fine point, and actually I've got a little paint on mine, but just so you can kind of see the size. Your paints, which are going to be a little bit of black, yellow, blue, green, and white. It doesn't take a lot of paint, so this is a little bit much, but just so you guys can see the colors. A glass of water to rinse your paintbrush off, and a towel just to keep everything clean. So we're going to go ahead and get started. First off, we want to make sure that our to-be cactus is going to be in the right position, so we're actually going to turn the snowman upside down, and we're going to start with mapping out the pot that's on the bottom. So I'm going to grab a little bit of blue, and we're going to outline here, and you can make the pot as big as you'd like. I want to give myself a little bit more room to make a big cactus, so that's why I'm keeping my pot kind of small. And you can also do it in many different colors. If you wanted to do a yellow pot or a purple pot, whatever you have on hand is totally fine. Do that. Perfect. So this is kind of the base of the pot, and actually I am going to make it just a little taller, just like that. Perfect. Alright, so then once you've done that, we're going to start laying out our cactus. And I want my cactus to be just a little bit brighter, so I'm going to add some white over here off to the side to make it a little bit of a lighter green. But you can do whatever green you'd like. You can do it a dark green or different color greens, like you can make it multiple colors. There's no real rule to it. So then once you've got the color that you're happy with, we're going to start shaping him out. So I want to start with a smaller circle on the bottom, making him pretty plump. And I always say less is more, like I would rather start a little smaller on my circle and work out versus making it too big, because then it's hard to go back. Just like that. We're going to fill it in. And then I think I'm actually going to do multiple colors here, so I'm going to kind of just wipe that excess off, and then I'm going to grab that darker green for his mid-body, and we're going to go just on the outside of the holes here. And this part of his cactus body is going to be a little fatter and a little shorter. And really, cactuses aren't uniform whatsoever, so if it's not a perfect circle, it's no big deal. Just like that. And we're going to fill them in. Get any of that excess paint off there. There we go. And then I'm going to wipe that excess green off and go back to that lighter one and add his big plump head. And this one here, you kind of see it is in sections, almost like an upside down snowman, but this one I'm going to make a little bit smaller just to give it a little difference. And you don't have to make him three sections. You can make it all one solid thing. Get creative with it and just see what you can come up with. Just filling him in. And then I kind of gave him two little hands here. So if you want to do that, you can do that. Now's the time to add. And I think I'm going to make his hands a little darker green, since they're going to go on that part of the body. And I'm just going to add a little there. But you can add wherever you would like. Kind of that. So then we're gonna rinse that off. Just like that. So next we're gonna add our little, his pricklies, his little things there. So I'm just kind of flattening out my paintbrush a little bit, so it's kind of more flat, and just grabbing a little bit of white paint, and I'm just giving him his little pricklies just in a random pattern all over. Doesn't have to be anything exact. Give him some on his hands and his arms. I'm gonna make sure I kind of leave a little space in the middle here for his face, but you can always paint over that if you put it, you know, right there in the middle. Or you don't even have to give him a face. It can just be a cactus. Oh, that's a little bit bigger one, but it's alright. There we go. Just like that. There we go. Perfect. And then next we're gonna give him his face and start outlining. So I'm gonna grab a little bit of black here. And for his eyes, like I want to just dot for his eyes. So I kind of want to get quite a bit of paint on the end of my brush so I can just dot instead of trying to circle. It just is easier that way. So just 2 little dots, pretty similar in size. And then I'm gonna take some of that off and flatten my brush a bit so I can start to make a little half circle for his face, or for his mouth, excuse me. There we go, just like that. And then if you want to, I'm going to go ahead and outline him now, just to kind of give him some depth and detail. And this is just kind of like a rough outline, nothing too exact. I just want to add a little detail here and there. And like I said, you don't have to do this part of it if you don't want to. Maybe just do it to the pot. And this time I think I'm going to just outline out and around his hands. Or what I think of his hands. Just like that. This, you can see here I outlined his whole body first and then his hands, so just like that. Just to give a rough outline. And then we're going to put a flower on it. So this I wanted to make sure it was a little bit different color than the pot. So I'm going to grab a little bit of blue and work it into some white over here so it's a lighter color. I'm just looking for a soft blue. You can make the flower whatever color you'd like. You can do it a purple or a pink, or, you know, like I said, whatever you have on hand, or even a yellow. And I'm going to do a five petal flower. So just kind of making half marks just like that to kind of give them a petal. And it doesn't have to be exact, but just something very soft and easy. Or you can give them a little bow if you wanted to. It doesn't have to be a flower. Kind of want to make sure you get your points in there. And you can always define that when we go back over it with the black. That's what I love about painting is, you know, what you think might be a mistake, you can always cover up down the road. Or if you want to, you know, maybe I think this petal is a little too fat and I want to change that, so I can always fix that down the road with some other paint to go over it. So now I'm going to add just the center to my flower. And same thing, I'm going to grab a little white and soften this yellow. Whoops, got a little blue in there, that's alright. And just get some on the end of my paintbrush here. We're going to dot in the middle there, just like that. people don't. So you can if you like to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Perfect. And then if you want, you can always add a little white to his eyes, but other than that, you have found yourself the proud owner of a little cactus ornament. And add just a little bit of white to his eyes. I can get, well, my black's still a little wet, so maybe I'll wait for him to dry, but I'm just gonna add a little white to his top of his eyes once he dries. But other than that, guys, that is all set. Thank you so much. You guys have a good one.